So you're thinking of moving to Edmond, Oklahoma, and you're just not sure where to start. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the steps of how to move to Edmond, Oklahoma. Because for some people, they've moved a lot and the idea of moving is really easy. For some people, they haven't moved a lot. They really don't even know where to start. So like I said, in this video, I'm going to walk you through just some of the basic steps of what it would look like if you were to move to Edmond, Oklahoma. Step number one is to call me. My name is Kinsley and I'm a local realtor in Edmond, Oklahoma and its surrounding areas. I tell this in every video, but if you're moving in 10 days, if you're moving in 10 months, I want you to go ahead and reach out to me. And I've had people that have called me and I've met with them and they're 10 months, a year out, but they are able to go ahead and start looking at houses. We're able to stay in communication. And so that way, when they are ready to move, they're just a little more prepared. So step number one is to call me. Let me know your name, let me know that you're thinking, and then from there, depending on your timeline, if it's the typical timeline, what you'll do next, so step number two, is you will connect with a local lender. Some people come with a lender and they use their lenders that they already have. If people come to me and they don't have a lender, I do have a few recommendations that I can give. There are some great lenders that I love working with and that really take care of my clients and that I am proudly able to recommend to people. And so that's kind of the second step, because what a lender's going to do is take your income, take your debt, take all the pieces of the puzzle, and they're going to say, realistically, you can afford this much. They're going to talk with you and see, okay, what is your ideal monthly payment? And they're going to be able to give you a pre-approval letter. And whenever we get into the steps of buying a house, you really need that letter in hand, because whenever you find the house that you like, having that pre-approval letter, we will submit and it just makes your offer more valid. So one, call me. Two is talk to a lender. And then three is I will set you up on an MLS portal. And sometimes I do steps 2 and 3 out of turn, again, just depending on your timeline. But within our MLS, we have the ability to create a portal and we can take all your criteria. So if you want 3 bedrooms, if you want 4 bedrooms, if you want at least half an acre, if your budget is 200 to 300, if your budget is 800 to 900,000, whatever your criteria, I can plug it into this portal. And from there, you can get emails either daily, weekly, every other day. It's really customizable, but you will be set up on this portal so that you are the first to know when houses come on the market, and it's all within your criteria. So you're not having to go through Zillow and kind of parse through your criteria every time you get on. It's just your own custom portal. I also have access to that. So if you favorite houses, I'm able to see kind of which ones that you prefer. I'm able to see more of your style. And so I love getting people set up on the portal because it really helps you see all that's out there, again, in your criteria and in your price range. Step number 4 is we're gonna start shopping. And there's a couple of different ways that this can look, because a lot of people want to come to Edmond. And if you are able, I strongly encourage it, because if you can come through that portal, homes that you favorite, homes that I think you might like, we'll create a schedule. I'll send you this schedule. And then when you come and visit, we'll just look at those homes. And so some people want to come and they want to stay for a few days and look around town and then look at homes in the middle. Totally willing to accommodate whatever works for you. But from those houses you want to see, we'll get a schedule. And then I will meet you at the first house. And then we'll just kind of start looking at the houses that you wanted to see. Best case scenario is that you find the perfect house. And then we move on to step 5. But let me go back a little bit, because some people aren't able to come and visit and they have to buy a house without ever seeing it. And so I am also more than willing to accommodate those people. I have done it before where I will FaceTime through houses. I will be there for the whole process. I actually had a family close this past year who, after closing, they had never seen their house, but only through what I had FaceTimed and showed them in pictures and things. I'm more than willing to do that for you too. Those are really kind of the 2 ways that you can kind of view homes. Come and visit, or I can FaceTime you or send you videos. And then I also kind of want to point out that when you are in town, I suggest that you look around, go to downtown Edmond, look around at the different schools, maybe drive through neighborhoods, even go into Oklahoma City and go maybe to Bricktown or check out different parts of the city. I actually have a PDF that is Visit Edmond, and it's some of my favorite restaurants, potential hotels that you might want to stay at depending on kind of what areas you're looking at, because there's not a ton of hotels within Edmond. So I've kind of pinpointed a few and given you some recommendations. And again, things to do, places to eat, all those sorts of things. And so if you want that, again, feel free to reach out to me and I'll send it to you totally for free. And if you can add a few more days to your trip, to see Edmond and explore the beautiful city, then I definitely suggest that you do that. Okay, so step 4 was start shopping. So we're going to assume that you found the perfect house. And if not, sometimes we just have to repeat the process, and that's okay. But once you find that perfect house, then we move on to step 5, which is submit an offer. And so through this, we're going to take that pre-approval letter that you have. We're going to take some documentation. I'm going to have you sign it. We're going to talk through when you want closing, inspection periods, all that kind of stuff. And I will talk through as much of that as you need me to. And I am really just here to help you. And so once we get that paperwork, then we will submit it to the other agent. He or she will take all of those offers or the offer, and they will review it with their sellers. If they accept and they send us back a signed contract, then we are under contract. So again, I'm there to help in that process every step of the way as I send the paperwork, as you have questions, all of that, I am totally there for you. Once we're under contract, then we move into step 6. Step 6 is pretty much from when we go under contract until the inspection period ends. And so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna wanna submit earnest money, and this goes to the title company. This is kind of like a good faith money, just telling the sellers that you are serious about their house. You're willing to, put some money down on it, and this money can be refunded. And that's kind of part of the contract, is based off certain stipulations, you can have that money refunded for different reasons within the contract. But you're going to want to submit that usually within 3 days. Now, a lot of people are from out of state, and so they're not able to run a check to the title company. And so a lot of times people will wire money, which happens all the time. If you do live close, you can drop a check off. So there's lots of ways that you will work with a title company in order to make sure we get this earnest money deposited. But typically, it's around 1% of the purchase price. So just to kind of give you an estimate, if you are, buying a $300,000 house, you're going to need to have $3,000 pretty accessible that you can send to the title company for your earnest money. Now, this does go towards the actual purchase of the house. So if you're buying the house for $300,000, you have closing costs, all of that $3,000 just goes in as a deposit on that cost. So once we get that, then we are also within that inspection period. So depending on the contract and how it's written up, you have probably anywhere from 10 to 15 days to inspect the property. You can have an inspector come out, and kind of the way that I do that is there's a form that you'll fill out, and if you want to make all of those arrangements, and that is fine. If you would want me to help you make those arrangements, I am more than willing. I also have inspectors that I can recommend very often, kind of take the reins on getting that scheduled. If you are able to come for the inspection, then that is great. If you're not, I will be there. I go to all my inspections and I sit there the whole time, whether that is the termite, the regular, all of them. But it is important to have that inspection. I encourage everyone to get an inspection, whether it's a 100-year-old home or whether it's a brand new construction. It's just good to have that second opinion and looking at things. And that way, when we get the inspection done, we can look at everything and decide, okay, are we going to ask for these things? Are we going to ask for these things? Is this maybe too much and you're not comfortable with it? That's what the inspection period is for. And so from that, we'll have the inspections, we'll write what is called a TRR, or a treatment, repair, and replacement. This is what you send to the sellers. Once you sign that and send it, it pretty much ends your inspection period. And so from there, they can negotiate, they can send something back, they can accept it. There's kind of some different things that can happen from there. But really, once we get from that inspection period, we're going to move on into step 7. And step 7 can kind of start within the inspection period. In fact, it will, but that's really going to be you communicating with your lender. It's going to be me doing a lot of the behind the scenes with the title company and getting different documentations, whether that be from the HOA, whether that be from you, whether that be from the lender, whatever the case, just kind of me working behind the scenes with the title company. So really that title to closing period is just getting all the ducks in the row. And really, time is of the essence. I like to get things done very efficiently, very quickly. I pride myself in having quick communication and really being on top of things, because I don't want people in a deal waiting for me. I want to really have everything done as quickly as possible. You also will work with your lender in getting the rest of the documentation. It might feel like they're asking for a lot, but really that is really good and helpful for everyone. It's not personal if they ask for what seems like a lot. They ask that of everybody. You'll work with your lender in getting your documentation. Will work with the title company. We'll get closing scheduled. For some people, they are not able to move and be here on the day of closing, and so they have to sign remotely. That happens all the time. About half of my closings probably sign remotely. It's super easy. A notary just comes to your house, to Starbucks, wherever you want them to come, and they have the paperwork. You sign it, they send it to the title company, and then the day of closing, that's kind of when the funds are transferred and all of that happens. But it's really simple if you're not able to be here, but if you are, that's even better. And it'd be great to, sit at the closing table table with you and kind of have that feeling of passing your keys on. Sometimes it can feel anticlimactic if you're not here. But if you're not, that's okay. And if you are, that's great too. And I will, again, be here for closing, be here to help you answer any questions. And so, yeah, that's kind of the basic 7 steps. And then, of course, step number 8 is to get your keys and move into your house and keep in contact with me. I like to keep in touch with my clients, whether we go get coffee sometimes, whether I come by and kind of see what you've done to your house, whatever the case, I love to keep in contact and just have that relationship going forward. I hope that this video was helpful. I know that it can be overwhelming and it can be a lot when you think about moving and maybe you've never been to the city, you don't know anybody. Well, I would love to kind of be your friend and be able to help you not only in the legality stuff, but also helping you understand Edmond and understanding Central Oklahoma as a whole. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll catch you in my next video.